idea for an application that it basically allows you to create chronological ordering graphs. So if you've ever looked up a TV series or something and you wanted to see the maybe the order in which you should watch the episodes, or maybe a book series, something like that, then you've probably Googled chronological Star Wars, and you've gotten the episodes that you should watch, Star Wars in canonically. And for simple things, it's really easy. So for instance, Harry Potter, you start with the first one, and then you go to the seventh one, and you're done. It's not that hard. But for some series, it's actually pretty complex. So for instance, Star Wars, there's the prequels, but there's also the Clone Wars, and there's Rebels, and there's the original trilogy, and there's the new trilogy, and the Mandalorian, and all these different things that exist in the same universe, but sort of overlap with each other. And knowing in what order they canonically happened is actually not easy at all. And so I've been watching quite a few shows recently because of the coronavirus and all that, and I realized that this is kind of a problem that I would like solved. So I'm going to try to make a application that allows you to build chronological timeline charts, including things like splitting timelines and labeling different shows and how they fit together, and allows you to create these graphs, and then they sort of automatically become wiki pages. So sort of like IMDb, but specifically for chronological timelines. It's a very specific use case, but I think it might be useful to some people somewhere. So yeah, that's what I'm going to build. And this is the first video of me trying to build it. You'll notice that I have a little bit done already, but if I start this, there's barely anything. So if I go here and wait for things to load, you'll notice that there's basically nothing. In fact, it might not even render because I've been adding a bunch of new state and renaming things. So if we wait for this, I don't even think it'll render. Yeah, see, look at that. Yeah, so I'm gonna spend a little time working on this, do a little time lapse, and hopefully you enjoy it. And I might chime in if I notice things going strangely, or if I hit certain milestones. I don't know. This is my first time doing this, so we're gonna see how it goes. Talk to you in a bit. I last talked to you, and I did a lot, and then I redid a lot again. So I'm just going to walk you through this. You may have seen I had actually gotten it working before. You'll notice that it's not compiling right now because I just kind of refactored how I was doing state. But I realized that the initial way that I was handling my state model was sort of screwed. So I redid a bunch of it, actually quite a few times. But it's pretty good now. So this is RecoilJS, which is what I'm using, and basically this is like this is my entire application state in this file, which is kind of cool. And then this is the domain model for my application, which is just a bunch of interfaces and like things that go along with those models. So like each model has a composite ID that it goes along with it. So basically an object containing IDs for the sub models of a particular model, or if it's itself just like a primitive thing, it'll just be an ID. But I refactored all this, moved it into a different file. These need to be moved into their own file. But now I think I'm about ready to put everything together for the kind of MVP version. So I'm not going to do any of the actual linking of connections and nodes together. And you'll see what I mean by that when I'm done with this. But I do want to, at least in this video, get to a point where you can like see what the application would do in theory. And then maybe in a future video, I'll get it so that it has full functionality, and then kind of go from there. But I have quite a bit more refactoring to do, so I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Up, I had some bugs that I worked out, and this is the sort of first, it's not even like a full version, but the sort of vision for what I'm going to be building. And I think I will probably do, oops, gotta fix that, I will probably do some other videos in the future, but just to kind of give you guys an idea. So first off, most of the time that I spent doing this was on getting like the state structure and the abstractions I was using correct. So hopefully I'll be able to make some kind of meaningful progress in the future much more quickly. I find that the better I get at coding, the less I actually do in it, or like less progress I can show initially, but the faster I can move long term. That's for a different video. Anyway, the whole idea of this, it's a chronological timeline tool. So for instance, if you're Googling like what order should I read this series of books, generally, if there's like multiple series, they kind of interleave or they're in different orders and stuff. And so you want to have some way to determine what order you should read them in. And so the idea is that each of these, and by the way, that is a bug when it flashes over there. But each of these nodes here, these things that I can drag around, they are going to be like the books or the movies or whatever it is that you have nodes in your timeline for. So you would type, whatever you wanted in here. And then these are how you connect them together. So they each have a way to kind of connect to each other on the sides. And again, there's some bugs. It's obviously that flashing over there isn't ideal. But the idea is that you'd put them together in some sort of ordered structure like this. And maybe your timeline splits. And the other thing is, right now, these are actually, they have a left and a right. So I think orange is left and purple is right. I don't know if I'm going to keep that because I feel like you would probably just set what your initial like first thing is, and then everything from that would just be a flow sort of thing. Because as it is, you could create like cyclic graphs and stuff, which might be sort of interesting, but I guess I'd have to kind of figure that out later on. But anyway, you drag these around, you create some sort of tree, and the idea is that I'm actually going to be able to capture this as a data structure, and then you'll be able to send this to someone else, and they'll be able to see the same tree and view it, maybe edit it, copy it, stuff like that. And so it's sort of like it's like if you go to Wikipedia and you're trying to figure out maybe the order to watch the Star Wars movies and series and whatever canonically, like they have I think here I can even go to it. Oh. So this is a different wiki, but it's the same idea. So this is the canonical timeline of Star Wars, which is literally just like it's a table, which is, I mean, I guess in some ways it's good because it's like really information dense, but it's also really ugly to look at and sort of hard to read. And also when you get into things that have branching timelines, this completely falls apart. So I'd like to be able to encode something like this, but in this sort of data structure. And that's what I'm building. So this is the first step to it. I basically got drag and drop working for the most part. Obviously, there's still some flashing stuff on the sides, so there's some bugs that I'm going to want to work out. But now the idea is I need to work on getting these to snap together and to actually capture this kind of drag and drop graph that I'm creating as a data structure within the code. Then I can, maybe URL encode or something so that people can view them, and that'll be kind of the next step. So I'm going to end the video here, and hopefully I'll have a new one out soon and maybe make some more progress on this. Tell me if there's like big problems with this video, or if you have any suggestions. I'm new to this, so I'm just trying to learn. Anyway, talk to you guys later.